Hello, it's me. Not again. I think it's the first one I've ever recorded that is a non-music one, and I haven't recorded the mu- music ones in a while. Okay, yeah, that is another thing I gotta get back to. But I have some tea. As one can see, it's pu'er, the Kung Fu style. Got myself a really nice one, really nice, okay one. Stipe. It's got a twist to it though. It's got some, in Polish I'd say guzdziki, but in English I'd say cloves. Yeah. And it really brings out the aspects of the taste of the tea that I don't notice usually, that I sort of let slip through. And I like that. And it definitely complements the thing. That's pleasant. But it's not the real deal. The real deal today is that I got myself a new book. Literally yesterday. It's Ukrainian love poetry. It was like $2, I guess. $2. $2 for a really nice, neat mix of very different authors actually. Authors from different eras, authors of different specialization. And there are some I really like. There are some reading the works of whom I enjoy heartily. But there are also some I've never heard of. And they might have been in the school syllabus. But I was not the most attentive literature student. But again, it's not the real deal today. The real deal is this time for sure, is life. Yeah. I mean, it sounds cool, but there is nothing cool to it. I mean, no, life itself is cool. And the way I've been living it so far is amazing. I've really come to appreciate life and what I've been doing with my life so far. What other people have prompted me to do with my life so far. I've really come to appreciate it lately. And I just wanted to let that out in a non-written form because I feel like I like a physical diary, say a written one. Maybe some people draw, sketch, no idea. But I feel like writing out stuff is nice. It brings order to thoughts. Usually you can make sense out of them, out of the words that you compiled on paper. You can really have a different perspective on what's going on inside your head, but I don't feel like it's complete. There's a very important visual element missing, and this visual element I would like to append by recording the video. I will try not to include any advice, any real life advice. I'm like 17. No, I'm not like 17, I'm 17. And it's not the best age for giving out life advice. So the only advice I'll give, maybe, is to my own future self. And by appreciating, coming back to the actual topic, by appreciating what I have, by appreciating the people I've been around my whole life, pretty much. I mean, trying to be calmer, first of all, because, yeah, emotions are quite irrational. I've also come to understand that. It's a painful realization. I'm not gonna lie. It's painful and it stings. It stings because emotions are the feelings and emotions. I think feelings power emotions and emotions power feelings, and it's sort of all intertwined, correlated, you know. Emotions and feelings are things that power, for example, art, music. I really try to get something out while I play my guitar, that is, by the way, missing a string now. try to get things out. I try to play. It's like speaking. It's like talking when you have something to say. Actually, you don't got nothing to say. Stay silent, and that really helps. This approach helps with music. This approach helps with I don't know, journaling, with everything pretty much, and it involves controlling the emotions. Oh, chill. It's okay. It involves controlling the emotions you feel, the things you feel. And I've struggled with that severely throughout the course of my life. I really have struggled with it immensely. And I'm slowly, gradually trying to subdue whatever processes might be going on inside of me, inside of my head. Because there's a difference. There's a difference between being dangerous and being able to be dangerous. Being dangerous is usually uncontrolled, I would say. Is usually it's like fire. It's all consuming. While being able to be dangerous when the situation requires you to be dangerous is a valuable skill. Is a very valuable skill. But in order to develop that skill, one would have to have full control. Maybe almost full control, because there is the human factor. There is no perfect master, as some Taoists would say. There's no perfect master. There's no perfect agent that acts completely rationally. So maybe have 90% control. Like, I don't know, at best. What the percentage would be? I don't know. And I don't have that. I don't have that. And when a man doesn't have that, he can hurt those that are close to him, that are dear to him. And emotions really are, they can stir up things, right? They can make the tide go wild. Once again, stir the shit in the pot. And that is what I've been trying to correct. That is what I've been working on lately. I know I'm not where I want to be right now. I have my own anxieties, insecurities, and I have the things I need to work on. And I have the people that I think keep hurting to this day. I have people who I partially, maybe unintentionally, but I hurt. I wound them. I injure them. And that gets to me. That gets to me sometimes. I'm not stupid. I'm most probably not stupid. And I realize that. And a person who's not stupid, usually, even after a long time, they realize that they've made a mistake. They're like, oh, my bad. Well, that happens to me. That happens to me quite frequently, actually. And emotions are what clouds the gate. Emotions are what blinds the person. And you cannot think straight with emotions in the way, you know? It's not straight as long as something is in the way, you know? You'd have to curve the path. You'd have to somehow try and get past it. I don't know. And that is bad. That is bad. So the easiest approach would be to exclude emotions from the equation. But it's difficult as hell. I'm telling you. For me it's difficult as hell. I'm pretty sure for everyone else it is too, because I don't think most people even see when when their emotions are in the way. I have some people in my life too who do not have a sense of uh, when they've gone too far, when it's time to stop, when it's really when they've reached the limit, and they should probably say, okay, okay, sorry, sorry, and take a step back and maybe revisit the situation later. Revisiting the situation later. That is another important point. That is another one. Because I've been revisiting my past for I don't have much of past going on yet, but I still have some things to reflect on. I still have experiences that form big chunks of my personality. I still have things I might hold on to a little, especially home. And I've been rethinking and re-evaluating what home is for me. So I've been actively reconsidering my perception of home, what home is, where it is, maybe what it is, who it is. After all, and it's painful. I mean, it is painful looking back. And I've done things coming back to the topic of emotions. I've done things impulsively. Uh, I gained some momentum and I didn't know when to stop myself. And I had people. I had people and I did things I did not intend to do. I did not intend to do. Things I might regret or things that might sometimes really hit me. Really hit me and I might be like, whoa, phew, yeah. And I'd be feeling like shit. I'd be acting like shit maybe. And looking back into how these experiences influenced me today and what I did, who I was, because the war really changed me. Really changed everyone. Changed everyone. I cannot even start describing what ways it's changed people in. It really re-evaluating and revisiting these experiences really helps identifying the problems today. Because I like the idea of causality. I like the idea of causality. I like the idea of the past repeating, but with under slightly different circumstances, with slightly different detail. So history is like not a circle, but a spiral, rather. I like the idea. And this approach sometimes really helps me not predict, but sort of map my past experiences onto my present ones. And it helps me be a better person. Really, it does. It does, definitely. And the fact that I've been journaling for maybe the past couple of years, actually, for the greater part of my, say, my teenage life, it really helps too. Because I'm able to sort of get on track and really track every major thing down. Even minor things, my, say, the way I thought, the way I used to think, that also changed. Um, the way I approach conflicts, the way I tackle problems, it all changed. It all changed significantly. The way I treat education, which is a topic for a completely different video, the way I treat people, people I don't like, people I like, it's changed so far. So far, it's kept on changing, and it's interesting. Really seeing how the past maybe doesn't even repeat, but how it still strongly dictates the present and relative to itself the future. So I've been trying to be a better guy. I've been trying to love. And I think I'm succeeding with that. I think every person has some love in them. Every person has some love in them, but as past experiences show, I guess, you cannot force it out. You cannot force it out. You and my sister recently said a really interesting thing. I genuinely never thought about before. All right. She said that it's quite evident that I love one of my brothers more than the other one. And I'm like, wait a minute, no, that's not true. But I see the similarities between us. I see how he influences me, how he influenced me in the past. How he, sorry, keeps doing that now. And maybe I don't love him more, but I have maybe a stronger bond with him, and we are attached to each other stronger in a stronger way. Maybe. And that she also mentioned how she doesn't blame me for anything. Nobody blamed me for anything because I could love my mom more than my dad, or vice versa. I could love my sister, one of my sisters more than the other, or whatever. And nobody's in the right to blame me because you cannot tell the heart how to love. You cannot control it. And I did feel guilty. It really invoked some memories, some memories and some experiences because I felt guilty for not loving someone maybe the way they loved me, and I thought I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. Felt terrible, but now I am slowly realizing that I'm not supposed to. I'm not expected to feel a certain way. I mean, in some cases, right? I'm expected because it's quite a natural way to feel. I mean, I love my mother and I'm expected to love my mother, you know? That is what I mean when I say that I'm expected to feel something. But with love, you cannot dictate, you cannot force it. It's like a continuous stream, flow. There is always love. There always is love in a person, indeed. But love takes many forms. It has many faces. Love has many faces, and usually the faces kind of scoot up. It's maybe somewhere in the fog. You cannot see it. You cannot discern any particular features of the face. But it is there. It is there. And you cannot deny it. People love things. People love people. People love activities. Animals. Nature. God. Whatever. Honestly, whatever. Love takes many forms. And I didn't really ever think about it. I love many things, as it turns out. For my whole life, pretty much, I've only used love, the collocation I love something, when I really, really loved it. When I, once and for all, I love playing the guitar. That is true, because I'll probably be playing the guitar. I will be, or I don't know, I love making music. I'll probably be making music till I cannot anymore, till I physically cannot. Because I do love making music. It makes me feel full, makes me feel complete, full in both a mental and a physical state sometimes, a meaning sometimes. In both physical and mental meaning sometimes. Yeah, talking is hard today. But I don't ever remember saying that I love some dish or that I love some person who is, for example, my friend, who's for example, I don't know, a crush. I don't ever remember saying that I love them, but life's taught me that you don't have to love something once and for all. Uh, you don't have to be so concrete in what love is, in what loving something or someone is. It doesn't mean that, for example, right now I'm seeing a girl, I love her. It doesn't mean that I love her temporarily. I don't think so. I love her. I love her. There is no time limit to my love. But even if I ever stop loving something or someone, it's okay. Love doesn't last forever, that's for sure, but human life doesn't either. Love doesn't have to be so concrete and doesn't have to be framed by doesn't have to be limited by such rules, by such strict, sometimes very unreasonable rules. There's rarely rigor to love. That's, I think, quite a mathematical approach actually to love what it is and how to love, who to love, whom to love probably, and makes things way more complicated than they should be. And I love my girl, I love my family, I love my friends, even those whom I may not be in complete peace with at the time being. I still love them because I, so far, have been valuing experiences the highest. Experiences, memories are my most prized possessions. And they're really not my possessions. I don't want them to be just my possessions. I want to share them. I want to spend time with people. I want to share my knowledge. I don't have that much knowledge, okay? But I want to share it. I want to share the things I've lived through. I don't want to force it upon anyone, but I want to share. I'm willing to give away. And I'm willing to give away my love. That's why I have a girl. That's why I keep in touch with my family. That's not doing that is something I'm guilty of actually. I really blame myself for, say, not calling my mom, not calling my dad when I really should have called them. I do feel guilty because of that. And I don't think I did enough, even not even not for my parents, but for the people I should have done enough, especially at some times when the war started or certain difficult stages of it. I haven't done enough. I regret it. I still do because I'm not perfect. Once again, I'm no perfect agent, but I try not to regret it and instead channel my attention, channel my energy towards not repeating the same in the future, not making the same mistake. And I think I've been doing a decent job lately, actually. But the key to that was really sitting down, and I never did that because I never had problems with thinking about certain things. For example, some really interesting thought crosses my mind, and I have people in my circle, in my circles, asking me, bro, how you do that? How you do that, bro? I have problems with thinking about some subjects, about contemplating about some topic. I really have problems with that. How do you do that? I have no idea. I'm sorry. Not saying I'm any philosophical uh, genius who has nothing to think about but thoughts, but I've never had problems with it really. But I've never given specific subjects thought I should have given them earlier, much earlier. And I think I've reached that age. I reached that age maybe a couple of years ago, when I should have started contemplating, thinking, observing, consuming information about myself, about my surroundings. I've been doing that for my whole life, but thinking about it deeply, and in original, authentic, out of the box ways. Thinking about it in ways I never had thought about it. I don't regret not doing it. Life has its own way of solving itself. Life has its own way of coming together nicely, like a jigsaw puzzle, like a really nice Lego set. It really does. The pieces might change with time. The pieces might depend on time, but it's still a neat puzzle, most probably. It will turn out to be a neat puzzle, most probably. So yeah, love and patience, being calm and really keeping that temper at hand are my aims, pretty much, for now. Okay, so I hope someone listened up to this point, and maybe this was interesting to someone. But I'll see you sometime.